Hey, good morning, everybody. Hope your Monday is going well. Hope you had an amazing weekend. Today is Monday, and today literally marks a very special anniversary, actually a relatively new anniversary. Today literally marks the 2-year anniversary of us launching the first virtual workshop that we've taught. And it's amazing to see how far those have already come in our short period of time in just the last 2 years. I tell you what, that's a decision as a entrepreneur and educator that did not come lightly. I will tell you that. When you look at where the real estate education, or I guess you could say the guru aspect of it has been, it's always been driving people to a hotel. And people spend 2, 3, 4 days with you going through a workshop and the nuts and bolts. And I've always liked to say that our workshops are always full of more information and content than a pitch fest. Yeah, we've had some pitches and some stuff like that, but that's got to pay the bills, right? We did that without, I think, really taking away from the great content and the amount of nuggets that people would take from our workshops. But that being set aside, we knew we had to do something different 2 years ago. And I have to give a big shout out to VP of Operations, Stephanie Goodman. For literally us sitting down and going through, hey, what is working? What wasn't working? And don't get me wrong, we could keep doing workshops at hotels and doing all that stuff. But I think, well, I know it's not just I think, is that it's not the same niche as it used to be. The market, I think we can all agree, has changed dramatically over the last couple of years, not only for educators, but also for those attending, those investors. Those of you out there watching this that are looking to invest. More and more people are jaded with pitch fests, or even like, I got to travel somewhere, I got to get on a plane and go, I got to take time away from my family. Travel isn't always the cheapest thing, and trust me, hotels aren't getting any cheaper. And when we made the decision to do that, we had already run some things previously, with our Monday Note webinars being successful. And I have to give a big shout out to our buddy Val Satir with Watermark Exchange, who about a year before had said something to me, hey, Scott, you doing these webinars on Monday, that's where you have a competitive advantage. That's where you are defining yourself or separating yourselves from the crowd. So I have to give a big shout out for Val for saying that, because upon that conversation, I chose then at that point, literally, I guess 3 years ago, to focus on having something almost every Monday night, to share that content, to share what's going on at a time when most of the country could tune in, whether it was 8 o'clock on the East Coast or 5 o'clock on the West Coast. And it was the success of those Monday Notes, or now as we call them, Note Night in America, that led it to being an easy decision for me to make, even though I had people telling me no. Oh, that's stupid. That'll never work. Oh, that's just horseshit. And it's funny is you hear, a lot of people wouldn't tell that to my face. They would say to other people around me, that's not going to work. I mean, some of the people that were closest to me in our workshops would say, it's not going to work. It's going to be a big flop. And I'm the kind of guy that if you tell me I can't do something, I'm going to take great pleasure in proving you wrong. Anybody else feel that way?
Yeah.
Tell me I can't do something, and I'll go prove you wrong. Okay? And yeah, we knew there was going to be a bit of a dip. We knew that things, whenever you shake something up from going and having 6 to 8 events and speaking and traveling 40 weeks out of the year, you're going to have a bit of a shakeup when you're home, when you cut your travel time in half. But I had to do that. My health was starting to fade. I was not healthy. I was extremely overweight and unhealthy, out of shape, and things weren't moving like they were. My energy was not there. Can you imagine me not having any energy, everybody?
Oh, yeah. I have so much energy.
I have so much energy, exactly. It's all natural, okay? So today's topic is more about, yes, you can. Don't listen to the no, you can't do it, all right? And I have to give a big shout out to those that help support us along the way. Chase Thompson for helping us initially get the things rocking and rolling, and our staff here does a great job of marketing. Woo, you guys, go Minions. And us taking a different approach to sharing the information that people would have gotten during a 4-day workshop, being able to cram it into a 3-day online virtual event. And it's amazing to see that we were way ahead, I think, of everybody else. I mean, there was a few people doing online training in the $7 billion industry. You go to lynda.com and see a lot of the PowerPoints that people provide on there, or the Khan Academy, who's doing a great job of that. I think we were way ahead of everybody else when it comes to in the note industry, and also probably a lot of the real estate industry. You know, there are still a tremendous amount of educators out there who are still doing the same dog and pony show. All right. I think people are tired of the dog and pony show. Just give me the tools that I need to succeed. Quit blowing smoke up my ass. Quit upselling me to another workshop, to another workshop, to another workshop. Quit dangling that carrot in front of my face so I can actually do what I'm doing. And the market's prime for great stuff. Now, I've always been a big believer in co-opetition and helping people succeed. There are plenty of deals out there. Not everybody is like that on the note industry. A lot of people like to control everything and everything running through me. Can't let anybody else do it. No outsiders. Got to pay 20, 30 grand just to have access to lists. And I just think that's kind of horseshit. But we have evolved in the last 2 years, and I think lead the industry. I have to thank all the people that helped out with that. I have to thank all the speakers that were either part of the virtual dummies workshops or our speakers that have been on the Note Camp side of things. Now we're coming upon Note Camp 4.0 in 90 days, and it's hard to believe that thing has gone from 300 people initially to over 700, and I would love to get to the 1,000 person category here in 90 days, which I think is very feasible. But what I'm trying to get at is, for those of you that are struggling out there, either going to make a change, and whether you're a realtor who's having a hard time approaching your investors for private capital because they're used to seeing you as a realtor, or a wholesaler running the same thing who has a hard time raising capital because you're too busy wholesaling, or the investor, it's easier to watch 8 hours of TV versus actually do some work on the weekends, or it's easier to go to a job and work overtime versus actually put in and start something yourself. What I'm trying to get at here is people are going to tell you, you can't do it. No, you can't do that. And my buddy Greg Reed gave me a lot of advice a few years back, and I have to give Greg a big shout out as well, because Greg's been one of our biggest fans and biggest motivators too. When I called him on things like, dude, you're doing great things, keep rocking, I think you're on the right track. Because if you've ever talked to a speaker, literally, I have a lot of speakers as friends, the road show isn't as much as fun as it used to be, okay? It's a lot of scheduling hotels and banquet staffs, and then paying $180 for a gallon of coffee, literally $180 for a gallon of coffee. It's freaking stupid. And trying to get everywhere there where you can do it from the comfort of your home, you can do it online, and still give the same concept, and still have that not quite same interaction, but you can have that same interaction, questions and Facebook, because everything is going more social these days, which is great. All right, but it still allows you to start more conversations with people and be more adept in connecting with more people out there versus those that are just sitting in front of you. And so what I'm trying to get at is, I've had people tell me, no, I can't do stuff. I had somebody tell me, no, I could never go out and buy notes from banks. Okay, great. Tell me, no, I can't do that. And I went out and did it. I had people tell me, oh, you can't teach others how to do it. You won't be able to do that, but we're going to go with somebody else that doesn't know what the fuck they're doing. Yeah, pardon the F word this morning, but I'm fired up this morning in a good way, okay? So I went and proved them wrong. And now you look at where I'm at now, where they are, and they're just not even a bleep on the market. You look at people, you look at events that, oh, you can't do that. Now some events from the longest running event in the note industry is basically out of business.
Or some people that have seen what you're doing and now they're doing it too.
And that's true. You're so great about there are also, it's funny to see it get often imitated, and that's completely fine. People can imitate all day they want. That's great. It's just funny that it's often imitated but never duplicated, right, everybody? There's only one Carson. Thank God. Thank God there's only one of me. What would everybody else do? You have to have a passion for helping people. I think that's where it comes down first and foremost. And I'm not saying other events are bad. Hey, you get great information. They have different speakers on there. You can get great nuggets for those. But that's literally the wave of the future. And you have to look at what's going on in your market to identify those market changes. And Cody Sperber had a great little post this morning from Clever Investor on Facebook about his mentors tell him to stick in the niches. Identify you want to be and stick to that niche. And I think that's so important. Years ago, when I focused on the notes being my niche, it was unpopular. It was very small. Not near the amount of investors they have today, but we're still a niche out there in the industry. The riches are in the niches, you've probably heard everybody. And so many of you, like I said before, are struggling with things because you're in the status quo. And as long as you're in with the herd or you're in the cows and not sticking your head out, you're not going to get taken out. You're not going to be the one targeted. Oh, you're stupid or you don't have experience. You can't do that. We as Americans and we as individuals have to stop listening to those that have no experience. We take advice from people that have never been down that road. And the best bit of advice I can tell you and give you today is if you're looking to take action, you're looking to make a change, seek counsel. Go talk to somebody who's been there. Talk to somebody who's walked in those, has created those footprints in the sand, who's hacked out that path in the jungle, who's taken it and lost blood, sweat, and tears, and sometimes friends along the way because you had to go your own way. You had to figure that out. And honestly, for the last 7 years, I have often felt that way. Hey, I'm kind of going against the status quo, which is okay. I don't mind being alone. I don't mind being the individual who gets picked on sometimes, or as people call us, the Carsonites, which I find that humorous. I find that actually is a badge of honor when people make fun of, oh, you can tell when Carson is a workshop because people are marketing, sending email blasts out to their database. Wow, what an ingenious idea that people would actually market. All right. So today's obviously quote has been, no, you can't. Yes, you can do it. If you listen to the no's, great. Continue to be average. But if you're chasing something, you want something, something that's keeping you up at night, something is burning in your gut when you're looking at your young kids or you're looking at your spouse and realizing you're not accomplishing the things that you thought. If you're looking back at what you've done the last 5-10 years and it's not been where you thought you would be, I mean, I think when we leave high school and college, we have these grandiose ideas. I can remember sitting in the hot tub with my wife talking about what was going to happen, or my ex-wife, I should say, not current wife, sorry, ex-wife. It's hard to believe I celebrated, it would have been my 16th wedding anniversary last week too. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not married anymore, but anyway, what I'm trying to get at it, everybody, is we often have grandiose ideas. I remember sitting around, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do big things, we're going to do big things. And then about 3 years into it, I'm like, what the hell? Life literally pulled out a bat and beat me. Okay? I had friends, oh no, you can't do that. You can't. And sometimes you just got to stand up and tell them, yes, I can. All right? Sometimes you've got to shed your friends and family and surround you. Sometimes you got to shed your coworkers, shed your hobbies, shed like a snake your skin and start working to be a better person. And I know that's difficult a lot of times for people. It's difficult, especially when you first get started, especially when you're afraid. When you're afraid to make things happen, you're afraid. I will tell you this, fear is false evidence appearing real. You will never grow as an individual if you hide behind your fears. You will never attain the heights of your success if you're scared to take risks. And yes, are sometimes some of the risks we've taken bomb completely? Oh my gosh, yes, they have. I've had some things that just go completely haywire, and that's okay. I don't sit stressing about the haywire things. It's things are going to kill me. No. All right, let's move on. And yeah, I might be a little bit more of a risk taker than most people. I might be the last note gunslinger out there, but that's okay because I don't mind creating a path other people can follow. And I'm so excited at the amount of success that those people that have gone through the virtual workshops, have gone through Note Camp and have achieved. And I just get so excited thinking about how far we've come in the last 2 years, and especially the last 8 years since I started teaching. And so today it's Monday. You're at your job, or you're trying to figure the week out, or you're scared, or you're looking to do something. You have to take action. You have to start doing some things. I have to give a big applause to Laura Blunt, who posted this weekend. She's like, oh my God, I finally figured out how to do a PowerPoint presentation. Congratulations, Laura.
Yay.
Welcome to the 21st century. She's like, I'm still trying to figure out the 20th century. I get it. A lot of real estate entrepreneurs out there are still marketing, are still doing business like it's the 20th century, not the 21st. You have to start looking at what you're doing and change to keep up or actually stay ahead of the competition. Because if you're still marketing like it's the 20th century, you're struggling. You're not finding deals. You're getting beaten to the punch by deals. And you have to evolve with the times. You have to become an X-Men and start doing some amazing things. So any questions or comments from anybody out there?
Oh, yes. So Todd LaPierre.
Yeah, Todd. Hey, good morning, Todd.
He said the virtual workshops have been great. I was really worried about my attention span on the first one, but it's very engaging and more comfortable than a stuffy hotel center. Christina Fuller, she said, no one can argue that your consistency over time has brought value to those us entering into the industry.
Thank you, Todd. Thank you, Christina.
Oh yeah, Tanya Heikeman. I'm sorry if I'm butchering that.
That's right.
Thanks for being our pioneer in the NPN and for setting up our system. Your virtual note buying program is awesome.
Thank you, Tanya.
I'm watching June recordings in prep for August.
Tanya, drop me an email later today, this morning as well. I got something I want to run by you as well too, Tanya.
Jason Cisneros is on.
What's up, buddy?
He says, great upgrade, brother. I think he's talking about Stephanie when he's talking about she's a keeper.
Yeah, she is. Stephanie's a keeper, definitely.
Christina Fuller again. She says, yes, seeing all the imitations, but there's no one like you. You've got the corner on teaching this stuff, and your style lends to your branding, our note master. You're one of those that keeps the fire burning inside of me, and despite the grief from some friends, families, and family members.
Awesome.
Tanya again. My goal is to buy 50 notes by 12/2017, and I've already started rounding up investors. Thank you for showing me the format to do this. Thanks to you, I now know how to explain it in the best practices. And fear is a liar. And Laura Blunt, looking forward to the podcast and really looking forward to Q4.
Yeah. So we're excited too, because today actually marks our 2-week countdown to the launch of taking this to a different level. In the last, 5-6 months, when did we start the Facebook Lives? We're episode 143.
October of last year.
So October of last year. So we're talking, how many months is that? 9 months?
See.
So we've been doing these Facebook Lives pretty much regularly, almost Monday through Friday, with a few exceptions here and there based on vacation and travel, with the goal to see how it's going. Hey, Facebook Lives, I think we were the first ones to do. Well, maybe not the first ones, but we've taken that, and I think we've been the first one in the industry to do that, which is great. We love it. We love doing these, 16 to 48 hour long shows with you. And the goal was, hey, we could do that on a daily basis. Let's do it on a daily reach out to our guests, our students, and any potential new investors looking to either come on as note buyers or note investors. And now, with the case history of once looking, okay, let's get to 50. We got to 50. All right, let's go to 100. Great. Now we're at almost 150, which is crazy, right, everybody?
Yep.
Now we look at what's the next evolution of that. And we're basically, I've been against adding more work to what we do, because that's the last thing I want to do, is add this and add something else and something else that takes away from our two basic things of buying assets and marketing for classes and workshops. Well, one of the great things is you never know who you're going to meet when you're networking. And I have to give a big shout out to my buddy Aaron Young, Laughlin Associates, had me come out and speak at his event in San Diego a few months ago. And I got to meet the guy that handles his podcast, Tom Hazard, who handles the Unshackled owner. And Tom and I were visiting a little bit there. We got to talking, and he reached out to me a couple days later and said, hey, you've got a lot of content. I think you should look at doing a podcast. We can help you out with some variety of things. I'm like, I don't want to do it if we've got to spend hours and hours of time doing it. He goes, no, that's what my company does. I'm like, oh, so we can delegate? He goes, yeah, you can basically do exactly the same things you're doing, but now get it up on iTunes and as a podcast. I'm like, oh my gosh, great stuff. So looking back at our previous 140 plus episodes, seeing what has been the biggest really, not from what we did, but what from you out there enjoyed. And what would you say has been the biggest likes of people? What drew the most amount of traffic from people that you guys think about it? Because we haven't talked about this, but I've been looking at it, especially a lot this last weekend.
A lot of your note-based ones, like the ROI calculator.
ROI calculator. We got to refilm that. That's fine.
The scratch and dent loans.
Yeah.
And what was that one that we tried to do a trade on, but we realized it was a second instead of first?
The one that Matthew Hell reached out, said he had a
property. It was like a whole thing, a string of comments about it, and that one did pretty well.
The one with Jay did. I haven't seen the numbers. The one we did with Jay.
So
Jay,
Liv J, Cody,
stars, yeah.
anytime we bring on actually a guest that speaks through, that's always been a big thing. So we're pretty excited. That's going to be the premise of the new podcast. Now we'll still do it live every day, but what we can use is basically I hit one button and it ends up becoming the content we use for podcasts. That's we're really excited about the No Closure Show podcast. Some people say, "Oh, you can't do that." We'll prove you wrong and do it again.
What?
And the great thing about podcasts, they're so unique. There's so many out there, and with the magic of iTunes, it's great. I think for everybody has a little bit different animal. We're proud of where the Known NBA podcast has got with Chase and Robbie, and they're kind of taking it a different evolution, bringing on David and doing some things like that. But I think we're just going to basically, since we've been doing this, and we'll still be doing the Facebook Live, we're going to allow some great things. My focus is more so like the Russillo show. All right, if anybody watches ESPN, nobody watches ESPN in here. I know, that's fine. Some people do. The Cannell and Russillo show. Danny Cannell and Russillo with ESPN. Danny Cannell's no longer there. Had a great podcast they would do, but it's an hour-long issue where they're two guys talking about issues. Well, that's our goal. Is we'll not only be talking about issues every day, what's going on, we're bringing on deals to talk about deals, but also bringing on our guests on a regular basis. And I'm really stoked at some of the people that are already stepped up, like, yeah, I'd love to be a guest. I'm like, blown away. So we're not going to do let you see behind the curtain or underneath the kimono yet, but we're really excited about this evolution of our Facebook Lives. Now, one of the great things that we'll be tweaking some is we'll be having also treat a little bit like a radio show where you'll be able to actually call in. So we'll be posting links for people that if they want to call in, they can either jump on the phone, give us a phone call, we can work through their issues, the problems, along with they've got a deal they're working through and want to know if it's a good deal. We're really excited about some of those tweaks to it as well. So we've literally mapping out the first 100 episodes. I'm so excited. Some really big names are going to be a part of the show. So
like Emerald, like bam.
Yeah, bam! We're going to throw some bam into it. So. But we'll still be doing these. You'll be able to see live streaming it, Monday through Friday for the most part. We'll basically try to keep them to an hour or less. Definitely over 30 minutes, though, because I think that's where a lot of people enjoy podcasts. They want something that they can do for 30 minutes to an hour. So stoked about that. Along with that, we'll still keep doing the Monday notes like we do on a regular basis. Now, in regards to that, tonight is a very big, very special Monday note on Asset Acquisition Monday is what we're calling it. And we've worked hard over the last couple of weeks to narrow down from 100 bids down to 23 final assets that we're closing on this week. And we're really stoked about this. I thought what I would do tonight is instead of having the speaker that I had planned to have on, we're going to bump them and literally dive into going through these 23 assets. And if you're interested in potentially putting your lazy assets to work, we might have some joint venture opportunities out of it. So we'll be going through the 23 assets, kind of a individual basis. I won't be sharing the full addresses of it because they're occupied assets. I don't want somebody going out there and knocking doors. So going through that, how we identify them, what we work through, and kind of the steps into breaking these things down. And literally, we're pretty stoked about it because these are really great.
Very clean assets.
Very clean assets. Nicole did a great job putting the video together. Greg did an amazing job. Nicole, Jen all did a great job by wrangling the realtors.
It's like herding cats.
It's herding like cats on crack. To get them to send photos and property updates and CMAs. And so we're really stoked. We have to thank all the counties out there that provided information on the utilities of the borrowers as well. And
thank Metro Online.
Yeah, thank Metro Online for helping us also do that. And white pages because we got phone numbers and Facebook posts and
Facebook.
Little Facebook stalking going on. So we'll go through some of that fun stuff tonight at 7 o'clock Central. Make sure and post the link below here too if you have not already registered for it as well. So lots of great stuff going on. I've always challenged people that there are plenty of opportunities out there, and tonight literally is more of a definition. Hey, we're putting our money where our mouth is. I tell a lot of people, especially come through the fast tracks, that are being Cape Coral this next weekend about, hey, why don't you do a webinar? Why don't you do a webinar about your deals you're working on or you're closed on or funded or things like that? And there's only a couple of people that have done that. But it makes for a huge opportunity when you're not communicating many to the one. Your one message to the many is better than one-on-one anytime. So any other questions or comments from people?
Yeah, we actually have an interesting one. Christina Fuller, she says, will your podcast show up on YouTube as well, or were any Android platforms like Stitcher? So the podcast is just basically the Note Closer show, but audio version.
Yeah, so exactly.
Yeah.
You will still be able to see the episodes that we do here on a daily basis. Yes, Nicole will be loading those to Vimeo on YouTube. But what we're doing is we're taking a little bit higher production value. We're actually going to be, once we finish the episodes, we'll literally just send them to our production company who'll help scrub it, edit it, they'll transcribe it, they'll throw it on our blog, and they'll upload everything to iTunes for us as well. So you won't miss out on anything. You'll still be able to see us face-to-face for a big chunk of it. We'll still be doing these live on at 10 o'clock, basically about every morning, no matter where I'm at, going forward. So it's just literally adding another layer to that virtual.
It's like our content spider. You have one thing, we're just adding another.
That's a great way to put it. We're just putting a protective, like a content spider on steroids.
Yeah. Like, gosh, our content.
Yeah, you're throwing that mutant one off. It's a long one. You know what I mean? It's like like a large antenna is probably better than versus a mutant leg up there dragging behind it. What else?
No, that's it. That's it.
That's it. So, yeah, don't let people tell you can't do something, everybody. Trust me, I had people that already, when I talked to them about the podcast, oh, you can't do that. There's too many people out there already doing it. I'm like,
really?
Yeah. So people are like, oh,
really?
These people are going to be competitive. I'm like, they're not really competitors. That's why, because it's a whole different animal. It's a whole different niche of how we communicate. And I was talking to Steph last night. She said, well, are you worried about coming up with content? I'm like, I don't think I'll ever be worried about coming up with content as long as we keep bringing on speakers. I have to give a big shout out to the vendors that are already interested in sponsoring it. So we're looking forward to that.
That's exciting. I think I'm excited for that more than anything, just getting their name out there.
Yeah, helping our vendors. We've got some amazing vendors who are literally glad to be a part of it and help sponsor it. People we love working with on a regular basis and helping them grow their business as we grow ours. And it's a really good symbiotic relationship, I guess you could say, when it comes to it. Because a lot of them come from me, hey, can you help us with marketing? Or hey, can we pick your brain and make things happen? I'm like, I'm completely fine with that. So a couple of important dates. We want to write this down, everybody. So excited that with Note Camp 4.0, we have our good buddy Scott Duffy going to be one of the keynote speakers. Make sure you throw his headshot on there.
He's up there already.
We are real excited about that. Scott comes from a big entrepreneurial background, launching some large companies, and very, very get a chance to check out his YouTube show called Burgers and Business, or Business and Burgers. He's got a book called Launch that was great. Scott has been a part of Inc. magazine, entrepreneur currently. He's also done some big launches for Virgin Mobile, Virgin Atlantic, Fox Sports, and some of those other things. So I'm really excited to have Scott come on to talk about on the Note Camp, be keynote speaker, talking about failures and successes and trials and tribulations. He's a great buddy of mine, known Scott for a few years now, and we got a really good chance to hang out again at Aaron Young's event in San Diego a few months ago, and we're getting some things together. So we're really excited about that. I'm in the final phases of actually adding another amazing keynote. Hopefully they respond over the weekend. We're really stoked about Note Camp 4.0. We got some cool changes that we're adding and tweaking to make it even better for everybody else out there. So that's it.
Yeah.
So everybody. So all right, everybody. So join us at 7 o'clock tonight. Nicole, you have the link for it by any chance?
I will put it up when I get back into the
No problem. So make sure you click on the link. And I apologize when anybody's confused as they see like an email like, oh, your Monday note has been canceled. I've been making some tweaks on Zoom and how we use that webinar service that when it schedules out recurring things, I want to tweak a few things on it. I cancel one and it cancels a bunch. So I apologize. Everybody has been a little confused on that with the growing technology. Sometimes you have little glitches. Did you see where, was it Facebook was creating an AI and they canceled it because the AI, the artificial intelligence, created its own language?
No, I didn't read it.
There's an article about this. This is crazy. They, I think it was Facebook or Google or somebody. Right?
Oh no, it was Google. It was Google
Google.
because they had it because I saw it was they had it to where it ran and like jumped over things, and it was like an actual like thinking brain. It's weird.
It's kind of weird, but it was starting to communicate with another AI, and they created their own language separately of English. And they were like, "Oh, we need to shut this down." It's like Skynet is taking over. Kind of crazy. Adapt, evolve, and most importantly, everybody, if you have a crazy idea, or you have something you want to accomplish, don't let anybody tell you you can't do it. All right. Now, if that person has been down that path before and somebody you're talking to actually has experience and can give you guide or criticism, in a constructive way to help you avoid potholes, help you avoid failing, that's different. But if you're dealing with somebody who's never been down, never taken risks, who's always played it safe, those aren't the people you want to listen to. If you want to get ahead in life and kill the 40-40-40 myth, what's that mean? Well, you work 40 hours a week for 40 years to retire on 40% of what you make. That's a big myth. That doesn't work anymore. We're in a different society today where you can, as an entrepreneur or solopreneur, go out and make things happen. So I want to wish everybody out there a great week. Go make something happen this Monday. And hopefully we'll see you all at the top, everybody. Bye.